This is such massive, positive, brilliant news. Dan Ashworth has already said yes to Manchester United. He's prepared to accept their proposal, and it's considered a big opportunity and project. Man United and Newcastle now need to come to an agreement due to there clearly being some kind of gardening leave, non-compete clause in his contract. Man United will have to pay an amount of compensation that will essentially allow that to be bypassed. But this is an extremely positive piece of news for Man United, brought to us by the brilliant, the wonderful Fabrizio Romano. Now, the reason why I say this is so brilliant is forever in the day, since I've been talking about Man United online, since I've been sharing this platform with you wonderful people. By the way, hit the like and share button. How we're run, having the best available in class, running our football club day to day, keeping the standards high, fixing the culture, ensuring that every head of department, whether it be the manager, recruitment, scouting, they are delivering to the nth degree, that there is a uniformed approach. And Dan Ashworth's experience of working in organizations and creating a uniformed approach from the under-9s, boys and girls teams, right through to the first team, recruitment, commercial, etc. His ability to do that is exactly what Manchester United need. So don't be drawn into any stupid conversations around, well, what players did he sign? What have his teams won? That isn't what Darren Ashworth is being brought in to do per se. It could lead to that. He is coming in to create a uniformed approach. Man United have been so dysfunctional, so many different cooks spoiling the broth for over a decade now. That needs fixing. This is the best signing Man United have made in 10 years, without a shadow of a doubt. I want to get your views. I want to get your opinions. Look, I know rivals are going to be salty. Some rivals, let me rephrase that. Some rivals are going to be salty. Some rivals have already wrote comments on this video before getting to 2 minutes and 10 seconds in that this means nothing. He doesn't play. He's not going to score for you. His track record this. What did he win at Brighton? What's he done for England? They're not listening, and they don't want to listen. They are being narcissistic. They're being angry. They're suffering with cognitive dissonance. They don't want to listen because they're worried about what this could do to improve Manchester United. And I actually saw this from a Newcastle fan, Lewis Bowden, who said, honestly, if this happens, I think every vein in my body might finally explode in hatred of Man United. As I've told everybody all along, Man United are everybody's biggest rival. He says, will be hugely clever move from them. Of course it is. Finally put that wealth to good use. And that's the element there. Although he's frustrated, that's the element. We've always spent money, but he's putting the wealth to good use. He says it's extremely poor from Ashworth, in his opinion. Now, I'm going to say this now. I mean this with respect to Newcastle. Why weren't you saying this when he joined from Brighton? Why weren't you saying it was in bad taste to join you from Brighton? The step up from Brighton to Newcastle is no different from the step up from Newcastle to Manchester United. But the saltiness is an indication, not so much here from Lewis, but the saltiness from Newcastle fans and rivals is an indication of how powerful this deal could be. It really, really is. Now, what does this mean for Man United? Does it mean there's exciting times ahead? In my opinion, yes. So Jim Ratcliffe is coming in and he's bringing in the best in class available. They're looking to create a club plan. And you now look at the players that we are linked to again, and there's exciting times ahead. Fabrizio Romano also reported that United's scouting department have approved Michael Olise. The interest in Olise from the club will be there this summer, and he will be under consideration. There are other reports that suggest that he could be one of the number one attacking targets. He does go on to say, let's see what Dan Ashworth decides to do. So that's one thing to remain very conscious about as Man United fans, is that there could be some changes. And I think what we're doing is so powerful. We are setting up the foundation before we start buying players. And maybe this is me getting overexcited for confirmation bias. So I'm very much prepared for that to be an opinion people hold against me. But I'm excited because we're doing the things I've been asking for a decade and never seen get done. Suddenly, the new ownership are coming in and they're doing all the things. And the reason that I'm saying those things need to be done first isn't because I have this vat of knowledge that nobody else has. It's just spending 5 minutes researching what other successful clubs do. It's not rocket science. For me, it's a little bit like, well, you walk, you put one foot after the other, and it's like learning to walk. It's simple for an adult, maybe. Is it easy for a kid? I'm not sure. But for me, it's as easy as breathing. It's the basics. Very excited. Now, Olise, his current injury record is a concern for me, but I'm very excited about this young man. He has talent for days. His ceiling is exceedingly high. He's fairly multifaceted in terms of positions that he can play. I think there's a real creator in there. I also think there's a player that if you develop right, can score you quite a few goals as well. Palace, it's a club that I think can get you to a certain level, but he needs to spread his wings now. He needs to move somewhere better. And Man United may not have been that club in the last decade or so, but I believe in the direction that we're going in, we are going to be an amazing place for somebody like Olise to ply his trade. So I'm excited about that. And the other story that's circulating today is that Barcelona are looking for a fee of around 85 million to allow Frankie de Jong to leave. So that Chelsea and Man United are both interested again in the Netherlands midfielder. And of course we are. And I think this is, for me, irrespective of Erik ten Hag staying, we need to look at Frankie de Jong. Yes, we have Kobbie Mainoo, who's class on the grass. He's an exceedingly good talent, but he's a baby. He's a fledgling, and he needs to be handled with care. I want him to play regularly. I want him to develop. I want him to get game time, but I don't want to overuse an 18-year-old. I also want to have a vat of quality in the midfield. So I understand people will say you need a ball winner. We have a ball winner right now in Casemiro. Casemiro, for me, has still got a couple of years left at the top. A midfield that has Frankie de Jong and Mainoo in it around Casemiro creates such great balance. It's unbelievable. I don't believe in this notion that signing de Jong will block the pathway of Mainoo. If Mainoo's good enough, he's going to be good enough. He's going to keep developing. He's going to take his chances. He's going to keep working hard. If he doesn't have the perseverance to work hard because if Frankie de Jong arrives, then he isn't Man United quality. If you have a young, exceedingly talented player whose nose gets pushed out of joint by a rival player of massive quality who's older than them coming in, they're not right for your club. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. There's no beating around the bush. He will raise his game, in my opinion. He will get game time. And plus, there's a 7-year difference in age between the two players. Some signings you have to think about the here and now. Some signings you have to think about the future. And I love the idea of Frankie de Jong coming in. Because you go into the next season with a midfield of Mainoo, de Jong, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes. For me, that's potent. That's got a great combination of everything that you need. Maybe add one more name into that mix as well. You have creativity, you have energy, you have goals, you have creativity, you have ball winning ability. I maybe would like a bit more physical, a bit more speed to be added to that midfield, if I'm being honest. But it's a powerhouse. Frankie de Jong, Olise, Dan Ashworth at the helm as the sporting director of this football club. There's a road ahead for Man United, but these are all the things you should be wanting to hear. Put all the noise aside. Jim Ratcliffe is building a powerful board. He's bringing in absolute exceptional candidates into CEO, sporting director, and I'm sure we're going to get a very good technical director as well. The idea will be to be uniformed across the park, meaning the signings we get are going to be a match to how we want to play football. The head coach will be a match to this. And finally, there'll be some unity between every level of team at Man United in terms of how we play ball. That is the Dan Ashworth model, and I'm very, very excited about watching this come to fruition. Man United fans, don't get carried away right now. Don't get carried away right now. But all of these things are going to slowly improve us. 5%'s here, 5%'s there, 10%'s over here. United are going to become a completely different football team over the next 12 months. Strap yourselves in, get yourselves excited, because Man United are finally, for the first time in 10 years, acting like the big, giant, mammoth club that we are. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.